we get ready to kick off the 2023 NBA Finals, here are my 10 guys that I believe have the most to gain if their team were to win this year's NBA championship. At number 10, I'm going with Bruce Brown of the Denver Nuggets. Look, I believe Bruce Brown is about a couple highlights away from being a household name in this league. And if you look at this Denver Nuggets squad, they're going to probably throw a few different bodies at Jimmy Butler. If you look at, though, who could have the most success keeping Butler from getting to the rim, athletically, it's Bruce. And he's, without a shadow of a doubt, the most explosive guy in this series. In a series that is lacking a little bit of the hype, when you look at how these two teams just put their heads down and play, Bruce Brown easily could have a couple of memorable plays, and it could propel his career to being a household name in this league. He's my number 10. At number 9, I'm going with Tyler Herro, who's missed pretty much most of this Miami Heat postseason run. He broke his hand in the first round. Look, I believe Miami's going to want to bring back Gabe Vincent. The reality is they pay a few guys already. Tyler needs to come back and ball. If it's game 3, whenever, somebody's going to get dealt. Max Strus is also a free agent to be. And to me, Max is the guy that I want to keep. I can get pretty much what Tyler Herro does in Max and Gabe. He makes about $27 million a year. Tyler needs to come back and ball and help his squad get to that championship. At number 8, I'm going with Michael Porter Jr. Look, MPJ already thinks the world of himself. So now it's time for everybody to catch up with what MPJ thinks of himself. He already thinks he's the best player on the court. You give this young dude a championship, it's only going to propel what everybody else thinks of him, which will do nothing but help his confidence and take it to new heights. He already believes he's the best player in the world. Giving him a championship at this young age with such a beautiful jump shot that he's got, he's going to make a lot of money in this league for a very long time if his body allows. At number 7, how about Bam Adebayo? He's likely going to get most of the responsibility of guarding Nikola Jokic. And look, the reality is if Bam can do a good enough job and do what no big has had success in doing in this postseason, which is guarding Jokic and being effective at it, it will raise some eyebrows, and it will definitely help Bam Adebayo secure his spot in this league. At number 6, Kyle Lowry starting to creep into Hall of Fame territory. If he were to win another championship, that'll give him dose to do it again alongside another premier forward in this league. Kyle's been able to hang around the league for a long time. He's got really good numbers. I'm not saying this dude will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but in a weak year, one of these years in the future, once Kyle retires 5 years after, I could see him making a Hall of Fame on his second year of appearance. It's possible. Kyle Lowry has a lot to gain if he were to win championship number 2 and be the point guard of this squad. Number 5, Max Strus is about to get a bag. The only question right here is how big this bag will be. Max is going to be the most coveted shooter in free agency this offseason if you discount Chris Middleton. Max is a guy that can just stroke the basketball. I don't care where this dude's at, he can shoot. He's the guy, if I'm Miami, that I want to keep. And to me, if he balls out in this finals and takes some from Tyler, I think you're going to put Miami in a position where they're going to have to make a call on Tyler or Duncan and get one of these dudes out of there to keep Max in Miami. At number 4, Gabe Vincent is a free agent, and he's about to cash out. This dude came into this league undrafted, proved every doubter wrong, and Gabe is about to get rewarded for his very hard efforts. His hard play is going to get him some money somewhere. Somebody's going to pay this dude to either be a starter or a combo guard off their bench. Think CJ McCollum-esque for Gabe Vincent. His bag ain't as deep as CJ's, but he does a lot of things effectively on the court. He plays hard. He's mature. He came through that Miami Heat culture. If he were to help Miami win a championship, this dude's probably going to have a 30-point game or 2 in the finals. He's going to get rewarded because teams are going to be watching how he balls out. At number 3, I'm going with the 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic. A lot of people will have Jokic as their number one with the most to gain. I don't have it that way because I believe Jokic has already done enough to silence a lot of the haters and a lot of his doubters. The reality is Jokic enters next season at worst the second best player in the world. And for me personally, I'm going to likely put him as the number one player in the world going into next year, unless he just bombs in the finals. There's no way I don't see this dude entering next year looked at by most as the best in the world. Is it the fanciest game, the most highlight-friendly game to watch? No, trust me, I cut highlights on him pretty much every night of the year. But is it much effective? Yes, it's very effective. It is in your face, hard working. I'm going to grind you in every possession. I'm going to make the best play for my squad to get a good shot. One of the things that I picked up on early in Jokic's career, he's not throwing the ball to where guys are at. He's throwing the ball where guys should be next. He's actually leading you to the best position to score the basketball. He knows everything about his teammates. He knows their strengths and their weaknesses and where to put the basketball for them. And I'm happy that Jokic is going to be able to put these talents on full display for the world in the NBA Finals. I got a feeling this dude is about to shine in a major way. That's why he's top 3 on my list with the most to gain. He wins a championship. He's automatically, for me, a top 25 player all time. He's right there with Giannis, competing for who's going to be looked at as the best of this generation. Will it be Giannis versus Jokic? Will it be Jokic 1, Giannis 2? That's really what's at stake for him. Jokic is now competing with the likes of Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Giannis if he were to get his first championship as the clear-cut leader of the Denver Nuggets. Never played with an all-star. That's what's at stake for Jokic. At number 2, I'm going with Jimmy Butler. The reality is Jimmy Butler's 33 years of age. He's played very hard in the minutes that he's played in his career. I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to last at this level for 5 more years. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to get back to the finals with the way he plays. He is chasing legacy right now. He gets this one championship in Miami. That's it. You see how they're revering Udonis Haslem, and he done sat on the bench for the last 10 years. One championship in Miami with this roster, I can argue, will be more special than the 2 championships that LeBron, Chris Bosh, and D-Wade were able to get together in Miami. This will be up there with the 06 championship that Dwayne Wade delivered. Now, I wouldn't say over that one because that was just a special time in Miami allure, but probably right under it. This team came in as number 8, and Jimmy Butler flatfoot said, yo, bro, we are not going home yet. After losing to the Hawks in the play-in tournament and being down to the Bulls late in the second play-in game, they not only get in the playoffs, they take out Giannis and the Bucks. They keep that momentum going and pretty much stall the New York Knicks. They go to the Eastern Conference Finals, go up 3-0 on the Celtics, almost blow it. Jimmy Butler says, yo, bro, we going to figure this out, get to the finals. And if they were able to do what no other team has done under Jimmy Butler's leadership, which is beat Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, his legacy will be cemented forever as just one of those guys. I don't know where he's going to land all time. I'm not so sure like I am with Jokic because Jimmy Butler has been underwhelming in the regular season oftentimes. The reality is Jimmy Butler's going to be a guy that a lot of NBA fans bring up, and this run that he's on going to be remembered. When you think tough basketball, people going to say, oh, you playing that Jimmy Butler defense, or you grinding like Jimmy Butler. So for him, this is important. And at number 1 for me, the guy that got the most to gain from his team winning a championship and him playing well will be none other than Jamal Murray. Let's just break this down. At this point in Jamal Murray's career, he hasn't been an all-star. He came off a very nasty torn ACL. And let's call a spade a spade. About 2 years ago, the question was, could Jamal Murray ever get back to form? Could we ever see Jamal get back to the elite level that he was playing at in the bubble and was playing at in the regular season of 21 right before his injury against the Golden State Warriors, I believe? Jamal has not only came back, worked himself back in that lineup, but he's grinded month by month. He's gotten better. And look, Jokic has been the most important Denver Nugget, but a few of these games, Jamal Murray was just unconscious shooting the basketball, and he put himself in a position to help his team win some of these games going away in the fourth quarter. That's all hard work and grind. He balls out in the finals. Maybe gets the finals MVP. We'll see. It'll probably be Jokic, because Jokic will probably be averaging a triple-double. But we're talking about a guy that's going to go from not making the All-Star game, being in that spot with all those guards, like, Jamal's good, but he ain't great. He really, it's going to be tough for him to make All-Stars in the West, because you look at all the great guards. But check this out, though. Chris Paul is getting older. His days of making the All-Star games are probably over. You look at a guy like Jamal Murray. Next year, he's going to miss probably 20, 25 games to kick off the season at least. If Jamal's able to ball out in the NBA Finals, Jamal's likely going to be an All-Star. Now we're talking about a guy that's going to be making $250 million, $300 million. He's able to make an All-NBA. I'm jumping ahead, but these are the things that will be at stake for a guy 2 years ago had questions of if it's over or not. The Denver Nuggets as an organization had to make a decision. Do we keep Jamal? Do we wait this thing out? We got Jokic, man. This dude's playing at an MVP level. Matter of fact, he won them 2 times over. Do we keep this dude and bet on him to get healthy and be the player of old? Or do we trade him? Do we move on and get some help around Jokic, who's playing at an elite level? Murray helps the Nuggets win the championship. That day is over, and now we're talking about the dynamic duo of Jokic and Murray for years to come. Those are my 10 guys that have the most to gain if their team were to win an NBA championship. Please, in the comment section below, be my guest. Let me know what you think of my list, what you agree with, what you disagree with, and tell me who you got winning this year's NBA Finals in the comment section below. I'm out.